Welcome back to Explore with Nicki B. I'm your host, Nicki B. We are on episode 3. So we are going over my life story. Again, I'm not sure how many episodes this is going to take. I'm assuming at least 2 more, maybe 3. So we're kind of doing little chunks and sections of my life. So you guys know who I am, where I came from, what I went through before we roll into the official show and what the episodes will be about in the future. So there is going to be some stuff that I miss out. I'm just kind of giving a, brief story and overview of everything that I've gone through. So I might go back and touch on things if I remember things that might be relevant or important. But just know that I'm going to give you the gist of it. And yeah, I'm just being authentic, being me, being real. Never going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to tell it like it is, right? So that's one thing that if you know me, you know that I just speak my mind, tell it like it is. I'm like a mirror, put the mirror in front of your face. Some people don't like that, right? So it might make people nervous. It might make people not too happy because they don't like the mirror in front of their face. They don't like to see who they really are. But yeah, I'm always going to tell it like it is. So that's just me. I do want to reach out to all of the people. I really, really, really appreciate all of your guys' messages. I've been getting a lot of text messages on the side, voice notes, emails, just messages on Facebook, Messenger, Instagram. People just reaching out to me and letting me know how much they appreciate me sharing my story and being brave enough to share everything that I went through as a child with all my trauma and whatnot. Some people have even opened up to me and shared that they've gone through their own trauma, that them and their siblings have gone through trauma. Some people are currently going through things right now with family members. So it's really important. It's very encouraging to hear those people reach out to me and just speak positive things and just say that I'm encouraging them by me sharing my story, for them to be able to talk about it as well with their family. So I appreciate that. And thank you. I bring it on, please. If it's helping you, I'd like to know that. And then maybe what else I should share, what else I should talk about. One person suggested that I maybe have a call to action and recommend places for people to go to if they're in need of help. Unfortunately, I don't know of any places to send you guys to. So just being honest, I don't want to send you somewhere that I haven't vetted yet, that I don't trust myself personally. I do know of things you can do, tools you can do. My friend Kelly Ritchie does like breath work and things like that. So I know there's things that you can do that will help when you have trauma, to work through, when you have anxiety, when you have depression, when you have things like that. I'm all about natural medications if possible. Anything natural is better in my opinion. Not really big on big pharma. I know that there is a need for it sometimes, and then maybe if you could wean off of it and then go more natural, I definitely recommend natural if possible. But yeah, I don't really know of any places to send somebody to. I never personally, like I said, I didn't get therapy or counseling or help. I just took it to God, and that is my ultimate suggestion, is to take it to God, right? Pray about it, have God guide you, have God help you get through things. But definitely speak up, reach out. If something's happening to you currently, or something happened to you in the past and you need to talk about it, to move past it, to get past your depression or anxiety or anything that you're going through in life, like definitely share it with somebody that you trust so you can get it off of your chest and start working on the healing part of it. It's really important to heal. Grounding is important. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of grounding, but just going outside in nature. Take your shoes off, put your feet in the ground, right, on the dirt, and hug a tree. I know that sounds silly to hug a tree. People make fun of tree huggers, but it's real. It works. It heals. So there's energy running through the ground and through the tree, and when you're hugging that tree, the energy is going through you, through the ground, through the tree, through you, through the ground, through the tree, and it's going to heal your body really, really quickly. So it's really important to stay grounded. I might even do the grounding sheets. I don't know if they work, but I have them. I try to do like different natural things like that. I drink tea. I'm starting to, and yes, this does say life is better with a cat. But I try to use the loose leaf tea. So one of my friends had let me know. I actually didn't believe them. I had to go research it myself online, but tea bags have microplastics in them. There's like 11 billion microplastics in one tea bag, which is not good for you, right? To drink plastic. And there's so many plastics, microplastics that are in everything that we end up ingesting that and having plastics in our body, which is not good. So try to drink loose leaf tea if you can. And yes, I do have 2 cats. We'll go over more about all my animals that I have. I have a lot of animals. I love animals. So, but yeah, anything natural that you can do for healing, and obviously journaling's good. Reading the Bible is good. I'm currently actually reading the Ethiopian Bible right now. So that is my preference of book right now, just learning, because again, there's a lot of stuff that was changed in the actual King James Version. There's a lot of verses that were omitted and chapters that were omitted and words that were changed and things like that. So I like to try to get to the truth. I want to get to the truth. So I like to go back further if I can, read other options to see what's out there, but just, yeah, a little bit more about me in a nutshell. But yeah, so we were on, where were we at? So I had my 2 kids. My first child I got pregnant at 18, had him at 19 on birth control. Second child, pregnant at 20, had her at 21 on birth control. So then I was not in that relationship any longer. I was still working at University Honda in Davis as a finance manager. I had bought my first house. At 22, I had 3 cars. I was doing great. Life was great, making 6 figures. Everything was good. Then I met my ex-husband, my last 2 kids' father. That relationship lasted a little over, I think it was like 5.5 years, close to 6, maybe somewhere around there, 5.5-ish. We were only married for a little over 1 of those years. Towards the end, we ended up getting married. When we first met each other, we got together very quickly. I feel like he saw an opportunity, with myself, and he jumped on it. So just from learning who he was and his patterns and what he did with previous relationships, and then even after me, he continued to do the same things. But I think he saw an opportunity with me being 22, being naive, making 6 figures, owning a house, having all my stuff together. Yes, I did have 2 smaller kids, but I had my stuff together, right? So he saw an opportunity. Of course, we fell in love very quickly. We got engaged very quickly. Literally within like 3 months, we're engaged. He asked me to be his wife. He was going to move in. He asked to have a baby. He wanted to have a baby. So we actually planned our son. He was the only child planned. But we literally only tried 1 time. So I counted my period, and I knew exactly what date I was ovulating. And I was like, okay, this is the date. We tried. And then afterwards I thought about it, and I said, you know what? We're getting married. I don't want to be, pregnant in a wedding dress. Let's wait. If I'm not pregnant, let's not try again. Sure enough, I was already pregnant. So I got pregnant very easily. And we held the wedding off. We pushed the wedding off just because I was pregnant. I went to go move him and his daughter into our home. And when I'm moving him and his daughter into our home, I go get her things, her bed and clothes and things like that. And then I found out his roommate, she walks out very pregnant, and found out he was having another baby. So he totally lied to me. I had no idea about this other woman. I had no idea that there was another baby on the way. I had no idea about any of this. And then he, made up other stories about how that happened and all of this. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, we're engaged to be married. I'm already pregnant. you're supposed to be moving in, and now you have this other baby. It's just, I guess it's something we have to deal with now, because he's telling me he's not with her, he doesn't love her, it's not like that, all of these things. It was an accident, it was a one night thing, blah, blah, blah. So he moves in with his daughter, and we play house. That relationship, again, we rushed into it very quickly, so I didn't really know who he was. He also was a rapper and singer and did music, was doing different music videos, and later I found out he was cheating with different video vixens and women that he was doing these music videos with. And not just them. He was cheating with many other women that I found out later. A lot of them would reach out to me. They would call me. They would tell me that they're possibly pregnant and things like that. A lot of stuff that I had to deal with, just drama that I had to deal with. And again, I'm pregnant, so I feel like I'm stuck, right? Because I'm stuck in a situation, pregnant with somebody that's now cheating and not treating me so great and verbally abusive and fighting with me all the time. And I feel like a lot of guys, they'll fight or start fights just because that's their pattern. You see their pattern, right? They start the fight so they could leave the house, so they can go do what they want and then come back later and then try to act like everything's all good. And that gives them their justification to go cheat and do their thing, which that happened often. And again, I didn't pick the greatest men because I didn't have the best choices, and I guess I just didn't care enough about myself. My self-esteem wasn't there to stand up for myself, to walk away from that quickly, especially when I was stuck pregnant and emotional, and I have 2 other kids and I'm in this situation. I remember being 9 months pregnant, going to his music video. It's him and his twins, I think 40th birthday party. So they filmed it and they did this big music video. And it was a good time. We had a good time, and I'm in the video, I'm dancing and stuff like that. I'm very pregnant. And then towards the end of the party, again, he doesn't want me there. He wants me to leave. So he starts a fight with me, and he literally throws a whole glass of wine in my face and like ruffles me up outside, throws wine, and then locks me out of the house so I can't come back inside. Just extremely rude in front of everybody. And then later I find out that he cheated on me with my friend's sister and went upstairs in the bathroom with her. So that's really why he wanted me to leave and get out of the house. So that's the kind of person that I was dealing with. Again, I didn't know all the particulars and the details, but I felt like there was something, right? You always have that intuition. And it's funny because I have good intuition, but with myself, with relationships, it's not as good as it is with everything else. So it's like when you're in the middle of it, sometimes your intuition isn't that great when it has to do with you personally. When it's other people, though, intuition's super high and super strong. But when you're in your own personal situation, a lot of times it's muted in a way, and you can't really sense it like you normally could. But yeah, so dealt with that trauma and abuse and had my son, and then we worked through things off on. Again, he would always fight with me to pack a bag to leave, go to his mom's house, go to Seattle, Washington, go wherever he wanted to go so he could go cheat and do his thing and think he's justified, and then come back and be a family again. And then he said, oh, it's because we're not married. We have to be married under God, and that's why it's not working. And so convinced me for us to get married, which when again, I kept pushing off getting married because I didn't really like what I was seeing, and I was scared because he kept showing me this other side of him that I didn't really particularly like. So he kept promising he would change and be different, and it never happened. He didn't change. And again, I would always try to pour into his different endeavors. I would help, with studio time and music videos and equipment and, grappling classes. And I helped start this pressure washer business for him and different things that I would try to do to help him become something and do something. So I was always pouring into him. and then I wasn't getting that same back in return. Then we lost our house when the economy crashed. So the '08 economy had crashed. We were way upside down in our house. I ended up having to file bankruptcy. I lost the house, cars, everything. Had to start all the way over. So we rented a place. And then that's when I end up pregnant again, with the pull-out method this time. That obviously didn't work. Again, I'm very fertile. He treated me awful again during that pregnancy, saying it wasn't his baby, and I cheated on him, and he would treat me awful, saying it wasn't his. He told his whole family it wasn't his baby, and all this stuff, which didn't make me feel very good, because that's not who I am. I've never cheated on anybody my whole life. I've never even kissed another man or texted another man when I'm with somebody. So I'm very, very loyal. That's one thing about me. I am loyal to a fault. So I'm extremely, extremely loyal. And so it hurt for him to say things like that. Again, I know where it comes from. People that accuse of cheating or constantly accuse of cheating or checking up on you, they do that because they're the ones cheating, right? So typically when somebody's a cheater, they're going to automatically accuse somebody that they're cheating, and they're going to constantly be on them as if they're doing something wrong, but it's really their own guilt that they're internalizing, and they don't feel good about it, that they're projecting onto you. So there was times he would do that when I'm at work as a finance manager. Sometimes I'm there till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. So he would always call, and I would have to answer the phone so he could hear where I'm at in my deal and hear the customers talking, so he knows I'm actually working. So I would do that all the time for him and pick up the phone while I'm working so he could hear that I'm working. Or he would drive by my dealership and see that I'm in my office late at night if I was working. But again, patterns tell me why he was doing what he was doing. Later on, I figured all that out. So I'm pregnant again. This is our fourth child. I schedule a tubal litigation after that. I did not want to have any more kids. So after I had my daughter, I had my tubes tied literally the next day. I made sure to get it done. I did not want to have any more children and feel like I was stuck or had to stay in a situation I didn't want to be in. I had my daughter. One of the most traumatizing days, I was on maternity leave, and it was my other daughter's 6th birthday. I'm at home. Granted, my ex-husband was the stay-at-home dad, so he would watch the kids, and I worked, and I paid all the bills. So he was always home with the kids, and now I'm home right now because I'm on maternity leave. And something told me in the pit of my stomach that something was wrong, that I needed to go check on my daughter in the bathroom. So I got up with the baby, and I walk in the bathroom, and I see my 6-year-old being abused by my ex-husband's daughter. So I was absolutely mortified. At that time, my daughter's 6, and his daughter was 12 years old. So I'm upset. I make them both get out, and I go talk to them separately so I can find out what exactly happened. And that's when my daughter told me that she makes her play the up and down game, and where my daughter was on her knees having to do things to her. So I was so upset. And then I found out that she'd been abusing her for 2 years, since she was 4 years old. Every single night she abused her. Every night. She abused her in the bathtub. She abused her in the bedroom. They shared a bedroom together. And again, I'm thinking they're sisters, so they're taking showers together, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was normal. I thought it was, nothing wrong with that. Sure enough, though, she was literally abusing her every single day. She also abused my son. My son at the time was a year and a half apart. So where I was 6, Jordan was 7.5, almost 8. At the time when I found out about it, but for 2 years, from 5.5 to 7.5, he was abused by her also. Not as much as my daughter. My daughter got the extent of the abuse, but my son was also abused by her as well. And it wasn't just her, it was her cousin also. So her and her cousin both did stuff to my kids. Mainly, obviously, it was her, his daughter, doing stuff every night. And so it caused so much trauma. I immediately called the police. I called CPS. I got them all involved. I got her out of the house. I made my ex-husband bring her to his mom's house in Southern California. So he drove her down there and brought her there. It was such a difficult time for us. It was also difficult because he tried to gaslight me as if it didn't happen. He tried to make up things to his family as if, oh, it's just kids being kids and that's all it was, experimenting, and that's not what it was. It was true full-blown abuse. And again, later I found out that she was also abused when she was younger. She ended up telling my daughter this, and she apologized to her. They had a conversation actually at the beginning of this year, I think. They finally talked about it on social media. They had a couple messages back and forth, and she apologized and admitted that she was also abused when she was younger, and that's how she learned how to do it and what to do, and she doesn't know why she did it, and she said she was really sorry and things like that. So obviously she never got the healing that she needed, and she never got the help that she needed. Even just going out to the grandma's house, nobody helped her. Nobody took care of her like they should have and got her through counseling and things like that, because later she ended up prostituting herself. She was in some big sting in San Francisco where they had the Super Bowl, and there was, at the time she was 17, and she was basically prostituting herself out there. Then she later ended up pregnant and had a kid and things like that. So she never got the help she needed, unfortunately. My daughter, I tried to get her help, but the trauma was so much for her that she's had such a hard life since then. So after we found out what happened, we got her into therapy. There was a lady that would come to our home every single day for a whole year straight, and then she graduated out of that. So my son and her got therapy and counseling every single day that they, or weekly. The lady would come out weekly, and then they graduated after a year. So I thought that she was okay. Unfortunately, she turned to food like I did when I was younger, and she kept eating and eating, and she just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and kept, relying on food and turning to food. And I kept trying to help her with the food thing and trying to eat healthier myself and do different things in the house to try to keep her weight down, but it was hard. It was so hard. And then from the age of 11 years old up until 18, 18 is the last time she went to a mental health hospital, but she tried to commit suicide since she was 11. So from this trauma. She tried to hang herself when she was 11 years old. Again, I found this out later. I found notes and diaries and things like that she had written. And then later she started cutting herself. And then later, after that, she took pills, in and out of mental hospitals. It was a tough time. So let me rewind a little bit. So when I found out that happened with my daughter, we got her out of the house, and my ex-husband and I he convinced me that we need to be married, that we're not married, and that's why things aren't good, because we need God to, bless our marriage and bless our relationship. And so he convinced me to get married. We got married. Then we moved back to Davis, and got a place there, and we were literally only married for a year because he was doing the same things. I'd be at work, he would pay his cousin to watch the kids, he'd go off with a different woman, and then another woman, and then a married woman he was seeing, and then another girl. I saw through his Facebook there was probably like 7 different girls he was talking to at the time. When I finally was done, I was like, I'm done, we're getting a divorce, I'm done. So I filed the paperwork and filed divorce. And my daughter was not even a year old yet when I was done. So now I have 4 babies. I've got a brand new one in diapers. My son, Isaiah, was probably 3, I think, 3. I think they're 2 years apart. So he was 3 years old. I have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old. And then I have my daughter, Mariah, was 6, 7... and then 8, 9, somewhere around there. So I've got 4 kids now, single mom, just got divorced, and I was okay with it though. I didn't want to be with drama anymore, any of the things. I needed to focus on my kids, focus on healing my daughter's trauma, my son's trauma, and what they went through. And so then ended up buying another house in Roseville. So I moved to Roseville and bought a house there. I was doing Herbalife at the time, so I was going to the fit clubs, and I lost a bunch of weight. I had lost, let's see, every time I got pregnant, I would gain 70 pounds. Like, I gained a ton of weight. And so I would lose it, but not all of it. So I always get thicker and thicker and thicker. So at one point, my heaviest, I got up to like 240 when I was pregnant, of course, that time. And then I would lose the weight, and again, I'd keep about 20. And then I'd gain 70 again, lose the weight, keep about 20. So I just kept getting bigger and bigger after each pregnancy. And that's another thing I had to deal with, a lot of abuse from my ex-husband. He'd call me a fat cow and just different names like that, just being verbally abusive and things like that, not making me feel very good when I'm literally like having his children. But again, my picker's broken. So, and you'll hear about the next one soon enough, probably next episode. But with Herbalife, I got up to 240. I lost 50 pounds on my own, just eating healthy, changing my eating habits, things like that. So I still needed to lose another 50. So I started doing Herbalife. I was doing 2 shakes a day. I started doing double workouts, just eating healthier, chicken, vegetables, rice, spinach, quinoa, turkey, things like that. Just eating really good, eating clean. And I was able to lose another 50 pounds. So I literally lost 100 pounds. So I got all the way down to like 137 pounds. Best shape I had ever been in. I was doing a bikini competition, feeling good. I was encouraging my daughter. My daughter was also losing weight. She was coming with me to the fit clubs, and she was, doing the shakes. She loved the Herbalife shakes, so we would drink them together. So things were good, so I thought. And then I got into another relationship. That lasted a couple years that I met through Herbalife. But that relationship didn't last. And again, more trauma. That person was an alcoholic and projected a lot on me and would fight and things like that. Stuff that I didn't want to deal with. We did get engaged. We were engaged to be married, but I didn't want to be stuck again and marry somebody that had those potential issues. Where they put their hands on me once, and that was scary. Granted, they were drunk and drinking, but that's no excuse. So I had higher standards for myself at that point, and I was just like, nope, we're done. Okay, we're not going to do this. So we parted ways, and had a few relationships here and there, nothing that lasted very long. And then I ended up selling that house and moving back to Natomas. Because I thought it was the best thing for my kids. My kids, again, are mixed, right? They're black and white. And being here in Roseville, it's predominantly white. Granted, now it's different. I feel like it's better now. There's a lot more diversity here now, but back then, when they were in middle school, it wasn't as diverse. And they were getting called the N-word all the time and telling them to go back to Africa and things like that. And they were crying all the time and not feeling good about themselves. And at this point, Mariah is really depressed. She was trying to commit suicide and all of those things. And again, I didn't know about the suicide part yet, but I knew about the depression. So I thought the best thing would be to move to Natomas, where there's more diversity and they could be around more culture and things like that. So I rented there temporarily, and I was going to buy there eventually. But then we started going to the schools there, and they were getting the opposite teasing. So now they're whitewashed. They're too white, they said. So they were getting it from both sides. And then the schools were not great because the kids were so bad at the school that the teachers would all quit. So there's nothing but substitute teachers in these schools, and there's rats everywhere. So there's huge rats just running around everywhere. It was really gross. Nothing but substitutes. So the substitutes weren't really caring about the kids that much, and they were kind of treating them bad and not giving them a good learning environment. So that's what they were dealing with, and they weren't happy about it. My youngest daughter, Melody, started having stomach problems. So I had to pull her out of school for like a year. She couldn't go to in-person school. Mariah couldn't go to in-person school because she's suicidal now. She's in and out of mental hospitals. So it was just not good. It was a really hard time in my life. And that is when I met my soon-to-be ex-husband. I'm actually finalizing things tomorrow. I have the last few docs to submit, and it's done. So I'm happy about that. Let's see, time-wise, we're at 30 minutes right now, so I can only talk for a little bit longer, and then we'll have to be continued on the next one. But I met my soon-to-be ex-husband on Facebook, actually. We had a mutual friend, and then he reached out to me, and we started chit-chatting, and then the rest is history. We met up for one night for dinner and a movie, and then we were together ever since. So technically, this November will be 8 years. We've been separated since last year, though. So last Mother's Day, when was that? May. So May of 2025, technically, is when we've been separated. When I found out a bunch of craziness, which we'll go over on the next episode. But yeah, so he was with me. He did have to deal with a lot with my children, with my daughter being suicidal. It was really hard to deal with, because she got aggressive and abusive, and she was breaking things in the house and calling us names, and just constantly having to go to the hospital and back and forth, and it was a lot to deal with, that she had to deal with, and then that we had to deal with. We tried different medications. Again, I didn't really want to do meds, but the doctors forced them on her, and she wanted to take them, so they said it's her choice. So she chose to take them, and then those caused even more problems. So the medications caused some horrible tics and different issues that she had, that eventually we ended up weaning her off of them, and she was way better after we weaned her off and got her completely clean off of all the meds. But it was rough. It was a rough 7 years that we had to deal with. So my ex-husband and I met, and again, rushed into things very quickly. We met in November, and literally were engaged to be married in December. He went and told me to pick out a wedding ring and proposed to me, and we were engaged to be married the next month. So you don't really know somebody after a month, honestly. Ladies, beware. If you meet somebody and in a month they want to move in and get married, don't do it. Please don't do it. Just take it slow, get to know them. I've definitely learned my lesson. You don't really know somebody until more time goes by, and you see how they handle things under different situations and circumstances. You see who they really are. Again, it took me 7 years to figure out who he really was. I was very shocked when I found out who he really was. But I think part of my problem too, being an intuitive and with my gifts, being a healer, I always see the good in people. I'm always seeing the positive, and I see the good, and I see the little hurt boy inside, and I want to help them, right? I'm a helper and a healer and a problem solver. So I see that in these wounded men that I end up choosing, and I see the little hurt little boy that I want to protect, and I want to heal, and I want to take care of, and I want to help. And it's like, that's all great, but they have to want to help themselves too. So you can't just do it all. You can't just constantly pour into somebody and try to help them and heal them if they're not wanting to heal themselves, if they keep going back to their old patterns and habits and things that are not good for them. So that was part of my problem, and I learned some hard lessons. So I will pause there. I want to make sure I read the comments, so we'll go over comments. We'll take off the makeup. We'll do the makeup removal routine. So we'll pause with just things that I had to deal with my daughter being suicidal. I will go over more things on the next episode of how she overcame those things, and how her life is now, and things are a lot better. And so there is, positive at the end. You're not stuck in it forever. So there is some encouragement there for anybody that is going through that themselves. Definitely, if you are suicidal, please tell somebody. You're not in this alone. Tell somebody, reach out to somebody. You can reach out to me if you want to. Like, I will talk to you. I promise. So, and there's suicidal hotlines and things like that. My daughter called them often, and they helped walk her through things that were needed. But honestly, God can help you as well. I promise. If you pray to God and ask for Him to help and come into your heart and into your life, He will take care of you when you're going through those times. I promise you. So ask for God, call out to God, call out to His angels. They will protect you. The angels will protect you. Spirits will protect you. God will protect you. Jesus will protect you. Just call to them and ask for it. So I promise. Okay, so I do want to read comments. There is comments that I forgot to read that were on Facebook also. So I want to make sure I acknowledge the comments on Facebook as well. And then I will also read the comments on the last episode. And I really do appreciate everybody that's reached out on the side and sent me messages and stuff. It really means a lot to me that me sharing my story has helped even just a little bit. Even if I just help one person, I'm good with that. I'm not trying to do this for money or fame or clout or any of that. So like, I promise you, I literally just want to help people from the bottom of my heart. So if I can just help one person, I'm okay with that. Okay, so I was posting the shorts as well on my Facebook. So I had a couple comments. This one I have for the short Story My Life in a Nutshell. We have Monica Hood. Very brave to tell your story. Proud of you. Stay strong. You're tough enough for battle. We all have a testimony that needs to be released to feel better in spirit. Only God can see all pain and trauma. What is being revealed is hurt, but karma don't play. What you put out is what you get back. So stay positive. Never give up on you. Aw, love you. It's so true. Everybody, I feel like I'm walking karma. Like, I feel like I'm so blessed by God. Like, God loves me and favors me so much that I feel like when people mistreat me, it's almost like their karma, right? And they get karma from it, or something happens to them because I am God's chosen child and not supposed to be played with. So karma comes for those that come against God's chosen ones. So thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next one is the actual episode 1. So some people had commented from episode 1. Nicole, thank you for sharing your truth. You are bringing awareness and shining a light on a subject that has been kept in the dark. Thank you. That is from Sherry Salinas. Thank you very much. LD, I remember the apartment, the artwork, the pets, and the peanut butter and sugar sandwiches. I had never heard of them before you and Jenna made me one. I'm so proud of you. You've lived an extraordinary life and overcome so much. May God bless and keep you. Aw, thank you, Lindsay. Love you guys. And then my aunt just put some praying hands and hearts and emojis. So love you, Aunt Maria. Okay. And I think there was a couple more. And then I'll get into the YouTube comments. Sorry, I can't take my makeup off while I'm trying to scroll, so I will do that. This one's called When the Storm Breaks, A Moment of Truth and Tears. Let's see, Rebecca, you are so strong and so brave. Thank you. Zeb, Emrys wants to send that guy to hell. He put a picture of his baby. Super cute. Yes. Anybody that hurts kids is going to hell for sure. Stacy, just watched. Ugh. Sorry you're having to relive these horrible childhood traumas. You're not alone. You're so strong. Mine was watching my dad hit my mom. Worst thing ever in my eyes. But now I have to go to therapy for it, and reliving it every month sucks. I'm glad you're talking about it. Truly helps. We all need to talk about it more. Prayers for you, my beautiful friend. Thank you, Stacy. Jerry Jones, I'm sorry to hear this. I hope it gets better today for you. Prayer hands. Thank you, Jerry. Today is better. Every day is better. With God. Okay, episode 2. What's up with the Michael? What's up with the public service announcement? Oh my goodness, that's funny. So yeah, my public service announcement was that I don't want to date anyone. So as you guys saw in episode 2, my reasonings why, but it is so true and it is so exhausting. I keep getting reached out and I really, really, really do. I'm flattered, you guys. I'm so flattered from all the messages, but I am not looking for that at all right now. Please, please, please. If you're trying to reach out to me for that, please don't. If you want to do business, then you can reach out to me. If you want to go on the travel club with me and you guys want to travel, reach out to me. Other than that, I'm not interested at all. Please. That's my little public service announcement. I think that is it for comments on Facebook. Okay. So on the actual YouTube, I guess I should take makeup off now. Okay, so we got these wipes still. I'm going to use those. I don't want to go over on time like we did last time, so I'm trying to respect your guys' time. So I want to make sure I do that. Okay, so I'm going to remove my makeup and then do my routine, my night routine, and read comments at the same time. So we're on episode 2 from the YouTube. We have Queen Reggie69. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. You are such a blessing to your kids and to many. Continue healing, shining, growing, and helping all of us abuse survivors. Thank you. Yes, no, it feels good to be able to share on a topic that's so taboo that so many people don't talk about. I think it's good and healthy to talk about it and share it and let people know, so you can overcome it and get past it and heal. So, because you're not going to be able to heal if you're just holding it all in, right? So I think it's really important. I got this new eyeliner. I hope it's coming off. I think it's waterproof, so it might take a little bit more elbow grease to get that off. I hope all you guys had a good 4th of July. I had a very quiet 4th of July. So my kids all had plans. My older 2 kids were with their dad in the Bay Area with all their family, and then my daughter was at her boyfriend's house, and my son was in Tahoe with all of his friends. So I had the whole house to myself. It was so nice. And I just relaxed and chilled, and yeah, it was nice. I actually really enjoy being by myself. I enjoy my own company. Okay, next comment. This is by @LiquidVintage. The goal is to always make your kids better than yourself, giving them the opportunities that you were not given. So many men have issues when it comes to controlling the urges. Yuck. Just yuck. It's crazy how mom could justify still being friends with that man. I feel like I recognize you. Not sure how. I was listening to your video to see if you mentioned anyone or thing that I recognize. Laugh out loud. But I swear your face, hair, and voice are all so familiar. Anyhow, if I somehow figure it out, I'll let you know. LMAO. Sorry, my comment is all over the place. Thank you, Liquid Vintage. Yeah, I'm not sure how you know me, but definitely let me know if you remember. But yes, no, I agree. It is crazy how my mom justified being friends with that guy after. I mean, all of them really. So all of them that abused me or did weird things, like, she still stayed friends with all of them. Which that baffles my mind. I would never, ever, ever do such a thing. Okay. Make sure all the makeup is gone. I think we're good. Okay, so there is a few more comments in the shorts. The first one is, trauma continues, the calm before the storm. Let's see, at Dual Sports Outdoors. He says, a boner for a 10-year-old. Dude should have met the wood chipper. Sick mofo. The using his actions to get money is Fuber too. He was assaulting a little girl. There's a special place in hell for people like that. 100% agree. But yes, God will definitely have his way with them later. So it's nothing I need to do or take care of. God will take care of it for me. Then we have at Stephanie OGLE tree dash LJ3HU. I feel you. I truly do. Don't worry. Your time is coming to feel peace. You are now so strong because of what you went through. Trust and believe you got this. I'm truly sorry you endured so much pain. Sometimes family is who you choose, not who raised you. Make your family. Prayers for you, my sweet girl. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. That's very sweet. It is so true, though. Family is what you make it. It doesn't have to be your born blood family, but you can create your own family later in life, and yeah, it definitely was hard to go through, but I feel like I was meant to go through this in a weird way, so I could then later help others. So my mission here in life is to help others, help other people. So I feel like for some reason I had to go through all this because God knew I could handle it, and I did, and I, with his help, thanks to God, and now I'm here to help others. So I hope to help as many people as I can. We have at George Guzman 7278. It's okay, that was the past. I know how it feels. I'm the black sheep. I'm sorry. Aw. Yes, definitely us black sheep. We're definitely treated different. So treated different, but again, I feel like those are the chosen ones. God, creates black sheep on purpose so we can later go through all of this and navigate it to be able to help others. So thank you for your comments. The next one we have is, this one's titled When the Storm Breaks. I don't think I titled the other one. Sorry. The last one was Most of My Childhood I Don't Remember. Sorry. And then this one, When the Storm Breaks. This is at Charlene Harrington-X1P. She says, you will get over this. Oh, sorry. You will never get over this until you forgive and let it go. I do think that's such good advice. It's important. In order to get over trauma, you have to forgive and you have to let it go. So, and get to a point where you can talk about it openly without any issues. So when I broke down in that first episode, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was coming. And I thought I was healed enough to be able to talk about it with you guys. And there were some triggers there. So I realized that, I still have healing to do, and that's okay. It's not gonna, we're not perfect, and we're gonna get through it over time and constantly heal and evolve and work through it. And yeah, so definitely important though to forgive and let go. It's great advice. And then let's see, there's no comments on that one, so that is it for comments. I'm gonna finish my routine here. So I removed the makeup. I'm going to do the No More Pore Pads as per usual. I'm starting to break out a little bit on my sides of my face. So I actually got these little pimple patches we're gonna test out and put those on. My daughter loves pimple patches, so I always get different kinds to try out and see which ones work better. So because I'm going to do the pimple patches, I'm not going to do the mask today. I do have this 24K gold serum and this other liquid like gold serum stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the little gold 24K eye treatment masks. So I'll do that along with the pimple patch on the side. So I'll have to wait till my face is dry before I can put the pimple patch on. Oopsies. Sorry guys. Knocked the mic down. It's probably super loud. Okay, so this was some of the newer things that I was using. So the 24K. This was like an under eye serum or type of thing. I don't know if you guys can read that. And that one's kind of like an all over. So this is kind of similar to this, right? They're kind of the same thing, but it's just going to give a little extra. So I'm going to put this on first, and then I'll add the eye patches. But, you know, when you get older, I'm 42, I'll be 43 this year. You gotta do anything you can to try to prevent aging and getting all wrinkly. Okay, this one comes out kind of thick and goopy. Again, I'm trying to avoid the couple spots that I'm going to put my pimple patches on. And you could rub it down onto your neck too. Okay. I'll do the eye patches last. So this is what they look like. I don't know what the different colors are. I'm assuming they're all the same. They just come in 3 different colors. They're tea tree oil and witch hazel miracle patches. So I'm gonna do the pink ones. So let's see. I'm trying to feel where they are. Okay, right here. So usually I'll just sleep in the pimple patches overnight, and then in the morning you'll see if they fill up with like white stuff or not. Yeah, I got them like on both sides. I still break out even though I'm an adult. It's normal, especially once a month. Let's see. But yeah, I usually will get the pimples on the sides right here, and then sometimes like on my chin area. Okay, so I got the pimple patches. Let's do, I'm gonna do my cocoa butter chapstick. I love a good chapstick. Okay, and then I'm gonna do these eye masks. And then we are done. Okay, cool. And then I am going to play the promo for Elite. I keep having people reaching out to me to kind of understand it more. So this little 7-minute video that the promo video kind of explains how the trip part of it works. Once you become a member though, you have access to that Dominican public trip, because everybody keeps reaching out to me about my divorce party trip. So you have to be a member in order to qualify to come on some of those pre-planned trips. But you don't have to go on the pre-planned trips. That's just an option. But by being a member, you get a 1-week trip per year to like 50 different places to choose from for U+1 every 12 months. And then you also get discounts on all your normal travel that you do, all your hotels, your rental cars, all that stuff. So you save a ton of money. So that's what I used when I just went to SoCal with my kids. So we saved a bunch of money. Yeah, so I will play the promo now. And then remember, at the end of the promo is my song, if you want to listen to it. The lyrics I will be posting soon too. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Bye. Hi guys, it's Nicki B, the host of Explore with Nicki B. I just wanted to come on and go over our current sponsor of the show, Elite. I wanted to do a quick promo and plug for them. They are who's making this happen, so I appreciate them. I'd like to start by sharing their mission statement. So what is Elite? Elite's mission is to elevate everyday life by making travel more accessible and creating a path towards financial independence. We exist to inspire people to experience more of the world, live on their own terms, and design a life they love. So Elite is pretty much an invitation-only travel and lifestyle community. So I am part of it. I'd love for you to be part of it so you can come travel with me, go on some fun trips together. I don't know if you guys currently travel right now. If you're currently traveling, it'll definitely save you a ton of money because, as you know, using things like Expedia Group, Booking Holdings, you think you're getting a savings, but in all actuality, there's probably another 65% savings there in over a million plus hotels that Elite is able to offer you. I know with Booking Holdings, they made $26.9 billion last year, and then the Expedia Group 14.7 billion. So that shows if they're making that much money, that shows how much room there is for savings. So it does allow you to save money. It is a travel club that you're part of. What's nice about being part of the travel club, so not only do you get the up to 65% off on the hotels, over a million plus hotels, you also get savings on car rentals, resort weeks. There's specific Elite excursions that they'll post that you're able to be part of, which is really cool. I'll show you some upcoming ones that I'm going to be joining. There's cruises, there's group travel rates. So if you're getting married and you have a big, large group that you need to get group rates on, or maybe a 50th wedding anniversary is coming up and you have a big group that you're taking somewhere, you're able to get discounted rates on it. Meeting spaces, if you're going to rent those out, airport lounges you can save money on. So tons of ways to save money throughout the year with your current travel. If you're not currently traveling and you'd like to travel more, that's another reason why it makes sense to do this. So the cost of the actual membership is $175 a month. So with that, though, you're getting the discounted hotels, you're getting the Elite Escapes. Those are those week-long trips that they have in different places like Dubai, and there's one coming up in Thailand that I'm going to be going to. I'll share that real quick. Also, there's a cruise they just went on, trips to Jamaica, things like that. You also get portal access to go online and book everything yourself and see all your savings, as well as the discounted airport lounges, and then the signature trips. So by paying that $175 every single month and paying your dues, it's almost like a savings account in a way. So me being a single mom of 4 kids, I don't always have a lot of money to set aside for myself to do a nice fun trip that is well deserved, right? We need to treat ourselves. So this kind of allows it's a way to, it's almost like a little travel savings account. So you pay your dues each month and it gets tucked away where you can't touch it. And then at the end of the year, after 12 months, you're able to choose a signature trip, which is a week-long trip. And there's, over 50 plus places to choose from. And you don't have to just go overseas. There's local stuff too that you can do with your trip. But it allows you to go on a trip once a year on top of being part of the Elite community and traveling with all of us, to all the different places. So the one coming up that I'm going to for sure be going on is the Thailand trip. So I'll put it here on the screen. That one is 8 days and 7 nights, round trip airport transfers for stress-free arrival and departure. You get private transportation for all the excursions, no guesswork, just smooth transitions. $150 resort credit per person. Food and drink, you're getting 3 days of breakfast, 4 curated meals across standout venues. So we have lunch at the beachfront restaurant, toes in the sand, dining with panoramic sea views, the Thai tasting menu at the Blue Mango, elevated local flavors in a luxe setting, lunch at Phuket's Floating Village, cultural immersion meets culinary delight, dinner at the kitchen table, refined ambience, and signature dishes. So all of that for $650. So, and then if you minus out the $150 credit, it's really only costing you $500. So you can't really beat that, right? So I'm definitely going to be going on that trip. Another one coming up is, and hopefully you guys can all join me. It's going to be my divorce party. So I'm officially divorced, finalized December 5th. So this trip is actually December 10th through December 14th. So we're definitely going to party. So come join me and be part of the club. It's going to be in the Dominican Republic. I'll put that on the screen as well. It's 5 days, 4 nights at the Twin Sands. So it has the accommodations and transportation included, food and drink, like we talked about before. This one has all-inclusive with meals, snacks, and the premium open bar. 24/7 room service, in-room bar with mixers, restocked daily, and a $500 per room resort credit. So you are getting a $500 credit there as well. So some of the activities, these are the ones I'm looking forward to. Unlimited golf green fees. So that's the Greg Norman course. We have the Elite Excursion. That's a sail and snorkel party cruise. We have the Elite VIP private welcome reception, Elite VIP farewell dinner event, and the Elite Experiences concierge on site. So all of that is going to be included. Definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, being part of the club allows you to come on the trips. It allows you to have that savings set aside, and then being able to get the discounts you normally would have done if you were traveling. The travel industry alone is huge. So if you want to do the business side of things too and make money and travel as well, you can do that. The travel industry in comparison, like I'm part of the automobile industry, right? So the automobile industry right now is $2.6 trillion. So if you look at travel's an $11.7 trillion industry. And in the next 5+ years, there's going to be trillions more, right? So if you want to be part of that side of things, making an income, Elite allows that as well. So if you'd like to do the business part of things, let me know. I can get you linked with somebody on the team to be part of that. But there is a really good compensation plan if you're wanting to do that side of things. And or just come travel with me and be my travel buddy. So I'll put my QR code link up here if you'd like to sign up and or do the business part of things as well. So yeah, that's Elite in a nutshell. Thank you so much. Bye.
A fire wrapped in softness, a cathedral held within. You work behind the curtain while the world demands the stage. But the depth of what you carry could fill 1,000 pages. You've been searching for the meaning in the spaces in between, and the cosmos keeps on whispering things you've always seen. You were made of fire and mercy, truth and tender grace. With a heart that reads the room before you've seen a face. The universe is holding what your hands cannot contain. Every wound you turn to wisdom, every loss became your gain. You love with open honesty, no armor, no disguise. You crave a soul who matches yours, who meets you in the eyes. You balance like a dancer on the edge of give and take, and the right one will adore the art that only you can make. You've been given more than asking, that's the pattern in your bones. But the tide is finally turning, you don't have to walk alone. You were made of fire and mercy, truth and tender grace. feeling